Welcome students. This video we are going to make 5 multi-view or orthographic view drawings of our 5 puzzle cube parts. So I've got my technical drawing or my exploded view drawing of the cube up on my screen here right now. What we're going to do in this video, if we look down at the bottom here, is we're actually going to end up adding 5 more pages to this drawing file. So think of this like if you were writing a report for a language arts class, maybe a history class. If you got to the bottom of your first page, you wouldn't save it and make a new document. You would just go on to the next page and keep typing that report. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with our technical drawings. We're going to house all of our technical drawings. I don't like Windows 11. Why has it got to do that? We're going to house all of our technical drawings in the same file, and it'll just show up as multiple pages down at the bottom. All right, so to do that, we want to have our technical drawing file that we've already created open. We also want to have our model of the cube open. Right? Now, some of you might still be in your animation environment. Maybe you get here and your screen looks like this. Remember, you can just click on this drop down and it'll bring you back to your design environment. Okay? Now, I'm going to do most of my work from the browser bar. So if your browser bar is not showing up, there's a expand and collapse arrow. You can click here to expand and collapse it. I'm going to right click on my part name. It's going to bring up all these different options. I'm going to go to create drawing about a quarter of the way down. Over here, I'm going to switch this where it says drawing, create new. I'm going to change it to drawing and say I want to make a drawing of this part in my technical drawing file. So this is how we're going to add another page to that one. So once we got that selected, we can click on OK. We'll wait patiently, and you can see here now down on the bottom, I've got 2 pages, one blank, one with my existing drawing showing up. And so this first view we drop in here is going to be our base view. Okay, this is going to be the front view of an object. All right, think back to what we talked about in class. Sometimes the best front view of an object isn't necessarily the front of an object. Okay, so that best front view is going to show good profile. Hopefully it's not going to have hidden lines. It should have its longest axes going left to right. And it should be in a stable or most natural position of use. All right, so I think the view I've got right here satisfies some of those. It's definitely a good profile. There's not going to be any hidden lines with this one. Longest axis is going up and down instead of side to side. We can fix that in just a minute. I don't know if this is the most stable position the way I've got it right now. I think if we got that long edge positioned as the bottom, that would be more stable. All right, so the other way you could think of this is when we did our oblique drawings, the best front view for an oblique, because it had the best profile, oftentimes is the best front view for a multi-view because it's got the best profile. Right? So again, I like this, just not sure about the position. I like the view, just not sure about the position. The other thing I'm not sure about is it looks kind of tiny. So let's go ahead and change our scale to 1:1. Right, or just 1. Right, that looks a little bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the screen. That's going to set my base view. I'm going to come over here and say OK. And now I got a line view of my base view drawing. Oh, the computer's being kind of glitchy here today. And as I was practicing, it was doing this where it was outlining my stuff in blue. All right. Hopefully that doesn't cause my screen to freeze up. Okay. So again, I like the profile. I'm just not sure about the position. So I'm going to come up here now and I'm going to go to Modify, Rotate. Okay. I'm going to pick the object, or in this case, my base view that I want to rotate. And then I got to click on Transform, and I'm going to pick a corner I want to kind of like put a pin in and spin everything around. Right. I think this would be a better position for my front view. Okay. Now I got the longest axes running left to right. I got it in a more stable position because I got this big line going for my base. All right, so I like what I've got there. I'm going to click OK. All right, now, as I mentioned, this is my front view. So I need my front view is always going to be down in this lower left-hand corner. Okay, now I'm going to project my 2 additional orthographic views by coming to the second button here, Projected Views. All right, I'm going to click my base view, and then if I drag up, I get a top view. If I drag my cursor over and to the right, I get a right side view. And if I drag it up to this upper right-hand corner, I get an isometric view. Right, so we want to add those 3 views. Now it's going to let you keep adding views here. I don't want any more, so I'm going to click on Escape. right? And then we're going to take and edit this isometric view to make it kind of stand out from the drawing. So I'm going to double click my isometric view. I'm going to come to the style tile, and I am going to pick the fourth option, shaded, right? That's going to shade that one in, make it look red. And then for my scale, I'm going to change this scale here. I'm going to go 1.5. I'm going to make this scale a little bigger. And again, my screen's being kind of glitchy, right? And the reason we're making that bigger is we want it to stand out, right? So we don't want people to get this isometric view confused with our three 2D orthographic views, right? So I like what I got. I'm going to close this out. I am crossing my border line, so I need to take and kind of reposition it. We'll put it in the corner over there. All right, and now I've got my front view, my top view, and my right side view along with this large isometric. And so I'm going to save what I got. I'm going to update this. Right. And what I would recommend you do is repeat that process 4 more times. So again, you're going to go to the next part on your list. You're going to go to create drawing. You're going to make sure over here, instead of create new, you're adding it to your technical drawing. All right, you're going to pick the best front view, right? One that doesn't have hidden lines, shows good profile. Right? I would recommend you keep the scale on all of these at 1:1. Right? Some of these best front views might need to get rotated to give us the best position of the best view. And this is another one where I can rotate this view 90 degrees. Come on. All right, sometimes it's easier to come up here and just type 90 than turn it that way. Oh, again, my computer's being glitchy. All right, once we got the best view selected and the best position, and we'll drag that to that lower left-hand corner. We're going to project a couple other views out. Click escape to free us from that. We're going to edit this isometric so it's shaded in. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. All right, and we're going to repeat that process until we've got, oh, did I mention I'm not a big fan of where Windows 11 put that? We're going to repeat this process till we've got all 5 parts created as a multi-view drawing. Right. In the next video, we're going to go back and add some dimensions to our orthographic view. So check that out when you get this finished.